Before we start, we just look at the brief, the introduction to Atanatiya Suttas, right? Yeah, it says that, in the Suttas, right? These Suttas is to be learned and mastered by Buddhists, yeah? Especially those who seek for protection or freedom from harms from all this, harms from all these non-beings, yeah? Like for example, the yaksha, okay? So, and we have seen, you see, in our past, classes, yeah, the Atanatiya Sutta will start with the verses respecting the 7 Buddhists, right? And then the following, we will see the assurance made by the 4 guardian kings, yeah. And also, we find in these suttas, you see, includes also the invocation, right? What is invocation? That is to request for help or request for protection, to the great yakas, yeah? And of course, to the commanders and, commanders in chief to punish those, what we call the benevolent yaka, and harassing of Buddhists. Okay, so yeah, this sutta is quite, not so long, but anyway, I think it's worth. And these suttas is regarded as very powerful suttas to be recited by Buddhists. Okay, so before we start, we also can recite this. And someone said, you see, when can we recite the suttas? In fact, you can recite these parittas, okay, these suttas at any time, yeah? Though we have a very strict, the procedures, right, mentioned in the commentary, but you just can, just can ignore it, right? So anyway, my suggestion is you can recite these suttas, these parittas at any time. Okay, for our own, well-being and protection, and of course, be free from all the harms, and of course, comfortable living with, respect to all these non-human beings. Okay. Okay. So now let us recite together. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Vipassisa namato cha kumanta sasarimato. Sike sapicha namato sababotano campino. Vesabosacha namato nahataka satapasino. Namato kakosan dasamarase napamadino. Konagamanasa namato brahmanasa vusimato. Kasapasacha namato vipamutasa sabadi. Angira sasanamato sakya puttasa sarimato. Yo imang dhamma dese sisap badokano pano sapadoka panodanam. Ye chapini bhutaloke yata bhuta vipassisong. Te jana apisunat mahanta vita sarada. Idam deva manosana yang namasanti gotamam. Vijacharana Sampanam Mahantang Vidasaradam Ete Chanye Chasang Buddha Aneka Satakotiyo Sabe Buddha Sama Sama Sabe Buddha Mahidika Sabe Dasa Balopeta Vesaraje Upagata Sabete patijananti asabhangtanamottamang Sihanadang nadante te parisasu visaradang Brahmachakang pavatenti loke apativatiyang Upeta Buddha Dhammehi Atara Sahinayaka Bhati Sala Kanopeta Asita Nubhyanjanadara Bhyama Pabaya Sop Pabasabete Munikonjaram Buddha Sabbanu Noete Sabekina Savajinam Mahapabha Mahateja Mahapanya Mahabalam Mahakarunikadira Sabesana Sukhawahan Dipanata patitacha tanalena cha paninam Gati bandho mahesasa sarana cha hitesino Sadevakasa lokasa sabete parayanam Te sahang sirasapadi vandami purisotame Vachasa manasa cheva vandami te tatagate Sayane asane thane kamane chapi sabadam Sada sukena rakantu buddha santi karatuang Tehituang rakito santo moto sabbabayehi chen Saparoga vinimoto sapasanta pavajito Sapavera atikanto nibuto chatuang bhavan Te sansat chena silena kanti meta balena chem Tepi amhenura kantu arogena sukena chem Uratimasmi di sabage santi bhota mahediga Tepi amhenura kantu arogena sukena chem Dakinasmi di sabage santi deva mahediga Tepi amhe nurakantu arogena sukena cha Pachimasmi di sabage santi naga mahedika Tepi amhe nurakantu arogena sukena cha Ottarasming disabhage santiya kamahedikam Depi amhenura kantu arogena sukena chen Purati mena datarato dakinena verulhako Pachimena veropeko kuvero uttarandisam Chatarote Maharaja Lokapala Yasasino Devi Amhenura Kantu Arogena Sukena Chen Akasat Tachabomata Devanaga Mahedigan Punyanta Anumoditva Tepi Amhenura Kantu Arogena Sukena Chen Idimanto Chaye Deva Vasanta Idasasane Tepi Amhenura Kantu Arogena Sukena Chen Sabitio Vivajantu Samparogo Vinasatu Mate Pavadvantaraya Sukediga Yoko Bhava Abhivadana Silesa Nichamud Dapachayino Chattaro Dhammava Danti Ayuvano Sukham Balang Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay. Last week we stopped at here, right? Ye chapi nibuddha loke yata bhuta vipasiso te jana api sunat mahanta vitasarada. Okay, so I think we stop here, huh? Right. So okay, so now we look at the translation. Okay. And okay, ye cha api nibuddha loke yataha bhutang vipasisum te jana api suna at mahanta vitasarada. Here, first of all, right here we have these relative pronouns. Huh? One is ye and te. Okay, it means that those who and this. Okay, so this is the meaning. So we look at the first part. Okay, the vipasisum. Okay, the root here. Also another one. Huh? Yeah, the first part. Yecha api nibuddha loke. Okay, so nibuddha here is PPP, right? Past participle nibuddha. And it's from the root. Okay, root. Okay, so here, this nibuddha is a PPP, yeah, adjective describing the ye, I mean those who extinguished, okay, and those who extinguished. Api here is also, okay, so those who have also extinguished, right? Yeah, here's describing this. Ch here is enclitic, so you can translate like and those who have also extinguished. Here refer extinguished all defilements, extinguished all defilements. So the loke here mean in the world, right? So yeah, translation. those who have also extinguished all defilements in the world. You see here, follow exactly the grammar, right? You see, so you have to explain each and every words, and explain the grammar and explain the cases. Okay, so this reflect the grammar. Yata bhutam vipasisong. Okay, vipasisong here is a third person, a plural, aorist. Okay, so aorist. So it means that they vipasisong means they saw, they saw yata bhuta. Okay, from the root part means to see. So yata bhuta is an adverb, right? To see things as they are. Okay, see things as they are. We
did this last week.
We did that already?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, anyway, we go through briefly, okay? Te jana api, okay, here, see thing. Te jana api suna atma. So, here, ye and te, and those who have, so te mean this, right? This person, jhana. And api suna, right? Never slander. Okay, atta mean here, okay? So you have like this person, te, this person, right? We refer to an arahat, never slander. And atta mahanta vitasarada. So it's also nominated plural, okay? Mahanta. From the root, from the stem mahan. So this is the adjective describing the jhana. And vitasarada, free from fear. Okay. So then, after then, they are great, mighty, and are freed from fear. Okay, so we have seen this part. So you see the translation here is very clear, right? So we follow exactly what these verses trying to say. Okay, now next one, we start from here. Hitang deva manusana yang namasanti gotamang vijja charna sampanna mahantang vitasarda. Yeah, also we have come across this. So yeah, okay, we look at the verb namasanti. Namasanti here, is it namasanti? It's a third person singular, right? He pay homage, or he venerates, they venerate, sorry. So it's not the third person singular, it's a third person plural, sorry. Third person plural. Okay. So they pay homage. And then what else? Vijacharana Sampanna, we know this, right? Is endowed with knowledge and conduct. Yeah, Vijja means knowledge. And there are 3 types of knowledge, you see, and there are 15 types of conduct, you see. So we have seen that in the epithets of the Buddhists, right? And this Sampanna is an adjective, right? Describing something. Mahanta, we have seen this. So they're all adjective. Okay. Now we look at these. Okay. Yeah, we look at the verb first. Namasanti. Third person denominated, they venerate. Or they pay homage. So who are they? There is no mention. So assume that referred to they. So they pay the Gautama. They pay the Gautama Buddha. The Gautama Buddha. You see, so all these things, you see, this Gautama Buddha is in the accusative. They are object of worshipping. You see, all this hitang. Yang also, you see, accusative. What else? You see, also adjective. The Gautama, yang. You know this yang means who, is a relative pronoun. So who works, okay, here hitam, accusative, who works for the benefits of God and man. Here is a Deva Manusana is a genitive plural. So here, they pay homage, namasanti, to Gautama Buddha, who works hitam for the benefit. You see, work for the benefit, okay, who works for the benefit of God and man. Deva Manusana is genitive, or gods and men. Okay, so you see, these are all the verses. You see, it's like, you know, extolling the virtues of the Buddhas and their qualities. And then continue, right? Vijacharana Sampanam. Right, the Sampanna here is a past participle, is one who endowed with knowledge and conduct. So it's also adjective to Gautama. Okay, yeah. So it means that they pay homage to the Buddhas who not only work for the benefit of God and men, but also endowed with, and who is endowed with knowledge and conduct. So who is Gautama, right? And Mahanta Vitasarada is also adjective to Gautama. Okay, Vitasarada, you see. So you see, when you analyze like that, you see your translation won't be good, won't go wrong. Won't go wrong because you are very sure this translation is to refer to what, this translation refer to what, you see. So when you see, they all agree in their what they call, in their case, in their numbers, and they also have to be agree, you know, with their gender. You see, I don't want to repeat again, you see. So you see, they are the masculine. And who is great or who is mighty, yeah, also describing the Gautama, and who also free from fear, or the fearless ones. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I assume you know the grammar because this one requires extensive grammar analysis, right? But of course, we have a lot of students. We have, you know, people here studying Pali, not really want to go to this grammar, but it's okay. You see, to start with, you learn something. You see, and then at least you know how I translate it. So you take this meaning, huh? And at least you know when you recite this, you know, their meaning and the translation. Okay. Next, we look at this. Okay. Ete chanye ch sang buddha anek satakotiyo sabbe buddha sama sabbe buddha mahidhika. Okay. So is there any difficult words here? Yeah. You see, you had ete chanye, it's ete chanye. Huh? Okay, and then you have anika satakotiyo. It's a compound of anika satakotiyo. Okay, anika mean many, sata mean 100, kotiyo mean approximate, 10 million. I don't know how to get this number. 10 million. 10 million, how many? 7 zeros. Huh? 7 zeros. 7 0? 7 0? Then with 10, how many? 8 0.
Yeah, 7 0.
Yeah, okay. So you have 100, 7 0. So how many? 9 0. And then many of these 9 0. Okay, so it's very huge. Huh? Okay, sama. You see, they're all adjective. Mahidika. Okay, not much we here. Okay, so we look at this grammar. Okay, the first part, etecha, I split the sandhi already. Etecha anye cha sang buddha. You see, the sang buddha here is a past participle, right? Past participle. It means that one who has completely enlightened, or a perfectly enlightened one. Okay, or completely enlightened one. Okay, so though it is a noun, but it has this verb. Huh? Okay, so it's a nominative, masculine plural. It means that this Buddhas. Okay, these perfectly enlightened one, these Buddhas. And you see the ete means this, this. So it's also nominative masculine plural. So they are describing the Sang Buddha. So how you want to translate this? You can translate like these Buddhas, these Sang Buddhas. Okay, and che is enclitic, ete and anye, right? It means that these and others. You see. Oh. When we talk about the this, here refer to the 7 Buddhas, and others mean there are many other Buddhas as well. Okay, and not only that, you also talk about aneka satikotiyo. It means that also including those 100 of what do you call kotiyo, crores, crores, 100 of 10 million. I don't know. Okay, so you see earlier we talked about the 7 Buddhas, but also here referred to many other Buddhas and also referred to many other Buddhas. So you can see that, you see this Digha Nikaya, this Suttas, it has influence from the early Mahayana Buddhism. You see, you don't find in Theravada Buddhism the concept of many Buddhas in the past, right? Even we don't have that 7 Buddhas. You see, these 7 Buddhas or 28 Buddhas, these are the influence of the sectarian Buddhism. Yeah? Of the sectarian Buddhism. Okay, so how to translate this? Yeah, Anya also, some Buddhists. Aneka is also, oh no, Aneka is not, but it's a nominative plural, but it's a feminine. Here is a masculine. So if it is masculine, you follow that. So now here, oh no, may not be a masculine, sorry. Oh, no, sorry, I have to edit it. Okay, I have to amend this part here. Yeah. Anyway, look at the translation. Ete Sang Buddha and Chanye, Anye, and other Buddhas, and the 100 of crores of Buddhas. Okay, or many hundreds of crores of Buddhas. Many. And then Sabbe Buddha, is it nominative plural? Buddha. Sabbe means all, right? So it's also describing the Buddhas, all Buddhas. And sama means equal, like Malay word, you see. Sama, it repeats twice. So equal. So all these Buddhas are equal, right? Because it's also adjective, Buddha. So all Buddhas are equal. All Buddhas are equal. It means that they're all the same. You see, they're all the same. Even the past 7 Buddhas, you see, including many Buddhas, including 100 of thousands, and many hundreds of 10 million Buddhas. They are all equal. Okay, there's no discrete. They are all equal. Okay, then Sabbe Buddha, same thing also. All Buddhas and Mahidika, all Buddhas have great powers. So you see, when you come to the translation, when you can identify, their case, their numbers, then you can translate. So this is how we translate from Pali into English. Also similarly from the Sanskrit to English. So it is not that difficult in a way, right? Not that difficult. Probably I think the problem is because of the grammar. And you don't know what it is. And also another thing, you don't know what is the meaning. So when you can locate their cases and their meaning, you basically can translate already. So this is how, when you want to do a research or you want to translate, the texts that people have not translated before, you want to translate into English. Okay? So you have to follow this kind of methodology. Okay. And all these Buddhas, okay, all the Buddhas have great power, you see. So you see, I have all the error here, jump here and there, to show you that, you see, they're all connected. When they are connected, then you can translate easily. So you see, I will give you this file, right? And yeah, if you are really serious in your Pali studies, you look at how I translate, then you feel it yourself, because I believe you have not learned this before, right? And of course, these are very sutta based and very ancient texts. See, there's no compromise. So the grammar, is in the original form. All the words are in the original form. And of course, there are words, they are not really Buddhist, they are Prakrit words, So, okay. Sabbe dasa balu peta vesa rajyehu pagata sabbe te pija pati jananti asabhang tanamuttamang. Okay, yeah, so there are many compounds, right? So dasa balu peta is a compound of dasa bala upeta. Okay, dasa bala upeta. Dasa means 10, bala means strength. Okay, 10 strength. Upeta means, you see, it's a PPP, right? Go near. It means one who possess of or endow with, right? But here is also used an adjective. And vesarajyehu pagata is a compound vesarajyehi upagata, right? So this is what we call the sandhi. When you apply the sandhi, e and u, the e is removed. So vesarajyehu pagata. So visarajyehi is instrumental. Okay, it's with self-confidence. Upagata is a PPP, you see. So you find a lot of PPP, you see, in the ancient text. So you see the importance of past participle. So the use of past participle is very, very, very convenient for your translation. You can use as a noun as well as verb. Then patijana, like this patijana, definitely is a verb, right? And it's a third person plural. So they what? Then it's from pati and chingya, to know. The meaning is like they claim. Asabhang tanang uttamang. Tanang means place, uttamang means supreme, asabhang means, right, or distinguished. Okay. Now, okay, sorry. Sabbe dasa bala upeta visarajyehi upagata. Yeah. So now you look at the grammar. Upeta. Upeta is a past participle. We have since that. Nominative plural. So okay. So it means that refer to the Buddhists. Here is referred to the Buddhists. It means all Buddhists. But because this is in verse, so you see there are certain words are missing. Not purposely, because they want to follow according to the meter, right? But dasa bala upeta here is an adjective to the sabbe Buddha, refer to the all the Buddhas. Okay. So you see all these Buddhas are endowed with 10 kind of strength. Okay. Yeah, you see endowed with 10 kind of strength. Okay. And then same thing, vesarajyehi upagata. Here is also, you see, nominative plural, right? So it's also the same thing, refer to upeta, refer here to the Buddhas. Buddha who endowed with 10 strength, 10 kind of strength, who is also, upagata means attain this with self-confidence. So attain with self-confidence. You see, though there is no verb here, but because this is a past participle, so you can translate attain, upagata, attain. And this instrument means with. So don't you find Pali is easily translated, with English. So it's very easy. So you can see the English reflect the Pali grammar. And attain with self-confidence. You see. And next, Patijananti tapasampula. So you are referring to the Buddhas, okay? All Buddhas, all these Buddhas. How many Buddhas? There are many, many Buddhas. 7 Buddhas, other Buddhas, okay? Many hundred of 10 million Buddhas. Oh, it's really a Mahayana. They eventually talk about each one of us had the potential of becoming a Buddha as well. It means that it's like the saints in the Ganga River. Okay, so they what? They proclaim. Okay, here no. So and sabbete is nominated plural, mean they or this. Okay, sabbe mean all this, all these Buddhas. Okay, did I? All these Buddhas proclaim. Okay. Proclaim what? Proclaim the distinguished, what do you call? Yeah, state Thana, state of omniscience. What do you call the supreme distinguished state of omniscience? Okay. So this is that all adjectives singular refer to the Thana. Right? Thana means the state. The state. Asaba is a distinguished. Uttama means the highest or the supreme. Supreme distinguished state. Okay, of what? Of omniscience. So all these Buddhas proclaim yeah, I mean that they possess. This is a further elaboration here, but you can say that all these Buddhas proclaim the supreme distinguished state of omniscience. Okay. Yeah. Do you have any question to ask? No question, is it?
Bhante, we have some questions.
Okay, so we move to question. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Let me share the screen for you.
So this is inquiry. Okay, does the novitiate program 2021 accept lady disciples? No, this one only for men. Okay, men. I mean, if you want to, lady want to join the novitiate program, I don't know, maybe next year's, I think, Arya Vihara, they probably will organize the Samaneri, the female novitiate program, probably, okay? Not sure yet. So this one is meant for the male. If you wish to join, we welcome age 16 and above. So it's the adult one. Madhu, Prana, do you mean this text is written after the evolution of Mahayana? Of course, we have to be careful of the word Mahayana, because when you talk about the developments of Mahayana Buddhism, it go through, stages by stages. Like you see, immediately after the Third Buddhist Council, we are talking about, during the Ashoka time, you find a lot of different schools, right? It says that during Ashoka's time, there were altogether 18 sects or 18 schools. Yeah. So you see all these 18 schools, some towards very conservative and some very, what do you call, one's very conservative and one is very proactive. Okay, so they have a lot of new thoughts, new concepts come in. So I think one of the concepts is about the Buddha's nature. So you see, so we can say that, but of course you consider this Mahayana, they consider it as early Mahayana form. So you can see the kind of early thought of Mahayana Buddhism came in the early text. That's why eventually, You see, they were compiled and included in the Digha Nikaya. So someone said, this Digha Nikaya was completely compiled and written down during the 1st century AD. Okay, it means that for the past 500 years after the Buddha's passing away, there were no any written record, all oral transmission, all oral record on it. You see, so you see during this 500 years, many things can happen. Many things can happen. So eventually, when come to the 1st century, you see, there is a 4th Buddhist council recorded in Sri Lanka. You see, for the first time, all these things recorded on the what they call Ola leaf manuscript. Whereas in the northern traditions, like you see, they also have the 4th Buddhist council in the northern side. I mean, I'm talking about the Kashmir. Kashmir. Nowadays we call Kashmir. Those they also call Kashmir. They call Kashmira. Yeah, Kashmir. Not far from the Gandhara, and they are the base of the Sarvastivada, another school of thought. Yeah, and it says that this Sarvastivada, giving rise to the developments of the Mahayana Buddhism. Yeah, so yeah, you find a lot of these things came in. Even some scholars from Sri Lanka, like Professor Kalupahana. He's a Sri Lankan monk, but professors from the Hawaii University. He says very clearly. He said, this Visuddhimagga. We know that Visuddhimagga is a very important text of Theravada. You see, the Visuddhimagga was compiled, during the 4th, 5th century AD. There was about 900 years later of Buddha's passing away. You see, they said that this Visuddhimagga, when Buddha Ghosha compiled this text, a lot of the thought from the Sarvastivada, from the Sautrantika, and even from the Mahayana Buddhism, introduced quietly, without knowing by some other Orthodox monks. You see, all quietly, without much disputes. You see, so you look at the Visuddhimagga, though it's a very Theravada text, but it's not purely Theravada. You can see a kind of mixtures of many others influence from other school of thought. You see, particularly from the Sarvastivada, talk about the past, present, and future. You see, that's why the present monk like Buddhadasa from Thailand, he disagreed personally. He said, he doesn't accept the Visuddhimagga at all. So when we study all these things, we have to know a little bit of the history, the background, the text. Yeah. Anyway, we are very.
Bhante, is it the influence of Mahasanghikas where they believe that they are?
Yeah, it could be a mixture of many schools, because when you talk about the Mahayana or Mahasangika, is a very broad camp. Under Mahasangika, they have a lot of school, within the Mahasanghikas, you see. So we cannot exactly, say, even among the Staviravada, the Theravada, they're also mutually, influencing each other. So you can see that at that time, during the Ashoka's time, up to the 1st century, 3rd century, during this period, or during the sectarian Buddhism, it's a lot of ideas, not that quite fixed. You see, so they're in the process of modification or arguing. You see, it means that the form not that definite yet. You see, they're arguing, and then finally they come to a very exact model or mechanism to explain. You see, so those who follow my class on the karma, I have explained that. Yeah, Loman, I think you have followed all my classes. Yeah, so I have explained a lot on this thing. You see, yeah, even Theravada also, you still can see that a lot of new things came in. Even the Visuddhimagga. That's why you can see that why in the later period, like in the 12th century AD, this Anuruddhas, he compiled a text called Abhidhamma Sangha, right? Commonly known as the Bhikkhu Bodhi translated as the Manual of Abhidhamma. Okay, the Manual of Abhidhamma. That's supposed to be an authority for Theravada, right? And of course, that used by the Burmese tradition as a kind of introduction to the meditation. You see, so they regard that text as a very important text. And you see that when you come to the 12th century AD, all these concepts become very definite. Very definite. You see, during that whole period of time, a lot of concept, evolving and arguing and make it more definite. Yeah. So you can see that during Buddha Gosha's time, things are still ongoing, arguing and dispute. Okay. So that thing we have to be very sure. Okay. So definitely a lot of influence, from Mahasanghika, like Lomani said, a lot, some other school of thoughts also came in. Even you look at Sri Lanka, you see, not purely Theravada, not purely, you see, you see like other school like Abhayagiri. The Sri Lanka Abhayagiri represent the Mahayana movement. You see, they grow, develop side by side with the Mahavihara, the Orthodox Theravada. So definitely a lot of influence from this school of thought, right? This Mahayana or the Abhayagiri tradition also introduced to the Theravada. Okay. All right. So it's interesting. If you want to know more about these things, come to do research and write a thesis. It's interesting. Okay. So what are the 10 kind of strange? Okay, I will give you afterwards. Yeah, I have in my. Yeah, there are many. Yeah, there are many places you can get it. Right, you can get it from the Lion Roll. Right. Yeah, Lion Roll is from the Anguttara Nikaya. Okay, Anguttara Nikaya. You can easily search, or even you can Google it. Right, 10 kind of strain of Buddhists. Yeah. So, okay, Bhante Namasanti is a future tense. No, this is not the future tense. Yeah, not the future tense. And they will pay homage to the Buddhists. Yeah. You see, this if you look at this Namasanti, we have not seen it, Bhavisati. If you look at this Santi, you see, because this one's Namasanti is from the Namas, okay? It's a denominative form. Denominative form, meaning this is a verb derived from a noun, okay, from a noun. So if you talk about, if it is a future tense, like, Bhavisati, isati, you see, so this one is a denominative form, okay, denominative form of the third person plural. No. Okay, what else?
That's all, Bhante.
Okay, so we continue, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have here 10 powers, okay? But it's okay. Yeah, you can read from the text, read from the text. It's basically the knowledge of the Buddhists, and the knowledge to understand what is appropriate is appropriate, and what is impossible as impossible, okay? And Vipaka Jnana is the knowledge of the operation of karmas in the three periods, past, present, future, and to the immediate result, right? And knowledge to understand the ways or the modes of practice that lead to various forms of existence, and the way or the right practice that lead to nirvana. Okay, so it means that there are several practices. That if you follow this, it will take you to various form of existence. Like if you practice this, or if you do dhanas, if you practice the sila, you will reborn in the heaven. Or if you practice a meditation as attending certain jhana experience, then probably you will reborn entered into the rupa jhana, something like that. Okay, so these are the knowledge. And also you have knowledge to understand the various elements pertaining to the living beings, the aggregates, and the ayatanas, okay, the sense field. as well as those pertaining to non-living beings, as to their species, okay, etc. And knowledge of the different inclination of beings, okay, yeah, okay. So based on their different inclination, then the Buddha prescribes a different method of meditation, something like that, or okay, or and you have the knowledge of the maturity and immaturity of the faculties. Okay, this is talking about the faculties. And you had the knowledge concerning the defying factors and the purifying factors with regard to the jhanas. Okay, and deliver and concentration, attainment, and knowledge of the rising from jhanas. Yeah. So, and you have the knowledge in remembering the former existence. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these are, you know, you develop certain power. And Chatupapata jnana, knowledge in perceiving with the divine eyes. Okay. Yeah. How beings pass away and reborn. And then you have the last one, knowledge of the extinction of all the asava, all the defilements, all the kangas. Okay, so these are knowledge. Yeah, there are so much things you can say, but I think this is just a very brief to you, huh? Okay. Okay. Okay, siha nadang nadante te parisasu visarada brahmachakam. Okay, or sometimes you find another word is dhammachakam pavatendi loke apativatiyam. Okay, so it's not easy, yeah, because since we are dealing with all the verses, you see, I remember, you know, or you know, many teachers said when I was studying the Pali or Sanskrit, you know, these verses is not recommended for a beginner. Yeah, because the structures is not very standard here, so it can be jump here and there. Okay, but it's okay. My purpose is to let you know, you see, you know, introduce you, you know, these suttas, these important Part2 suttas. At the same time, you know, introduce you a little bit of Pali and with the very little translation, so that you have a better grasping of the suttas. Otherwise, I'm very scared. I'm not that. Of course, this when I analyzing all these Pali grammars, they are very serious. Yeah, but I don't know to what extent you can understand all this. As I teach this, I have a little bit worried. But anyway, I explain all these things to you. Don't worry. So you look at the verb, nadante. Oh no. Okay. You see the te visarada. There is no verb here. There is no verb, but you have verb here. The rest you don't have, right? But you have, we got this part first. Te mean this. Okay. Visarada. This is adjective describing these Buddhas. They are fearless. Okay, fearless. And parisasu. Okay, it's a locative. Fearless among the 8 kind of assembly. Okay, being fearless of 8 kind of assembly. Parisasu. Parisa means assembly. These Buddhas, these Buddhas already understood. These Buddhas being fearless. Being is an adjective to these Buddhas. Among me is in the locative. Okay, assembly. Assembly. How many types of assembly? Okay, sihanada nadante. Oh yeah, here is a verb here. This is a middle voice. This is a middle voice. So it's a third person, middle voice, but that makes no difference. You can just translate as it's from the root nat, means roll, roll. And sihanada means the line roll. Okay, accusative. So I mean roll the line roll. Okay, 狮子号, huh? Roll, the line roll. You see, though here is a middle voice, right?
What do you mean by middle voice, Bhante? Can you explain?
Okay, I make it short, right? Definitely in English you don't find this, yeah. But in all the Sanskrit, and Palis, the middle voice is used mainly for what do you call, when you are performing something for your own sake. Okay, but translation wise, you can translate using the active voice. Okay. But anyway, make it easier for you. You know, you just take it as active voice, but the form just happen in the middle voice. Okay, you can take it as active.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you can just take it, because if I talk about this middle voice, you know, that I think some of you might not like it anyway. That's too much already. Yeah, but you look at all the translation in the middle voice, you just translate as active. That's good enough. Okay. So it's roll the line roll. So this is accusative. So then brahmacharya pavatenti, third person plural. So this is active, you know, I. It means that the set in motion, pavatenti, from the root, mean turn the wheel, turn the brahmacharya, turn the wheel of Brahma. Okay, yeah, accusative, turn the wheel. So who turned the wheel? These Buddhas these Buddhas. They are being fearless. You see, the roll the line roll and the turn the Dhamma wheel. And then what else? Loke apati vatiyam. You see, in the world, loke, right? Apati vatiyam. Okay, these are adjectives describing the brahmacharya. Mean they are without turning back. It means that keep rolling without turning back. Apati vatiyam. So it's also an adjective describing the Dhammacakka. So you see, it's very inconsistent when we are reading all these verses. You know, the verb can be here and there, the adjective can be here and there. So that's why I say it's very, it's not that proper for beginners to learn the Pali. Yeah. Yeah, they set in motion. Yeah, they set in motion, or they turn the wheel. They turn the wheel of Brahma or the Dhamma. Some texts appear as Dhammacakka. It's okay. In the world, locative, without turning back. That is to refer to the wheel of Dhamma without turning back. Okay. I hope you get it, right? Okay. Continue. Upeta Buddha Dhammehi Atarasahi Nayaka Bhattimsa Lakanu Peta Sitanu Bihanjana Dhara. Okay, so yeah, we look at some vocabulary, right? Atarasahi means 18. Buddha Dhammehi, right, is the instrumental. Nayaka means the leaders. Bihangtingsa, Bhattingsa, right, 32, or Dwatingsa, they are same. Dwatingsati or Bhattingsa, they are 32. Asiti means 80. Anu Bihanjana means anu means following. You see, so it's minor characteristics. And okay, so we look at translation. Upeta Buddha Dhammehi Atarasahi Nayaka. Okay, so is there any finite verb? No, but you have upeta. It's a past participle. So you can translate this first. Upeta means endowed with, right? Endowed with. So it is a nominative plural. So then it is adjective describing the Nayaka, nominative plural. So you have to put the arrow here. Okay, so you talk about Nayaka means the leader, right? Leader. So leader are endowed with, or leader have been endowed with. You see how you translate? Leader are endowed with With what? These are all the instrumental. Okay, and Atar Rasa is also instrumental. Atar Rasa means acting qualities. Okay, and then Buddha Dhammehi. So it's acting qualities of the Buddhas, acting qualities of virtues in the Buddhas. Right? So instrumental. So yeah, it's very strict. Huh? So these leaders, in fact, you just can ignore it. Just leaders are endowed with 18 qualities, okay, Dhammehi, of virtues in the Buddhas. Okay. You want to know about these 18 virtues, I think you also can check from from the text, yeah. And then Bhattim Salakana Upeta Asiti Anubhihanjana Adhara. You see, Upeta, also the same thing, Upeta. It's also a PPP, right? So these leaders is also endowed with, also describing the Nayaka, endowed with what? 32 Lakkhana. Lakkhana means the characteristics, okay? 32 marks. 32 marks. So they possess 32 marks, okay? So Upeta, you see, it's a nominated plural, so it's clearly it's they. I hope you can feel it when you see all these grammars are mentioned here. You can feel it and you can translate yourself, or you can feel it and then you can look at how I translate it. So then eventually you have gaining confidence in the translation. You see, since this is in the compound, so if it is in the compound, then you are free to translate. Okay, so they possess 32 major parts. Okay, or you can say that, or they are endowed with 32. It depends on English. You use English like endowed with, you have to say that they are endowed with 32 major marks or 32 characteristics or 32 marks will do. And Asiti Anubhihanjana Adhara. You see, Adhara is non-material, also describing the Nayaka. So, Adhara. Okay, what is Adhara? Right, it means the holding, right? Holding of, I'm missing this one, and holding of 80 minor marks of a great man, understood? Okay, so I put holding, sorry. Sorry. And holding. Oh. Okay, and holding 80 minor marks. Okay, and of course understood the great man. So that's why they said the Buddha has these 32 major characteristics and 80 minor marks of a great man. Okay, so you want to know more about these 32 major marks and 80 minor marks, okay, you can also go to the suttas. What sutta is that? Yeah, anyway, there are a few suttas on this subject. There are first, so you are considering the Buddha as a great man, having all these 32 features and 80 minor marks. But of course, someone also challenged, you see, if you put all these 32 marks and 80 minor marks are onto the Buddha's body, I think the Buddha will become an alien. Okay. Okay, Bhya Mappa Bhaya Supabha Sabbe Te Muni Kunjara Buddha Sabhanuno Ete Sabbe Kina Sava Jina. Okay, so these are all vocabulary, yeah, all vocabulary. So, yeah, okay. I hope not to frighten you, but anyway, all these words are clearly translated. Okay, we go straight to the translation, easier. Okay. Bhyamappa bhaya supabha sabete muni kunjara buddha sabhan nyuno ete sabbe kinas asava jina. Okay, so I already split the sandi. Kina asava. Kina asava. So first of all, look at, there's no verb here for the first line, right? So look at, if there's no verb, look at the nouns. Kunjara, Muni Kunjara is nominative plural. So Muni Kunjara. So you can say it's like the supreme sage, Muni. And Sabbe, all, te is a pronoun, right? This supreme sage, all this supreme sage. Right? All this supreme sage. You see, this Subaba is also nominative plural, describing the Muni Kunjara. So you have to put here. Right? So it means that Subaba means the shining. Su, pa, pa. Pa means, you know, the shine forth, to shine, shining. And then Bhyappa Bhaya. Bhyamappa Bhaya. Okay, this is instrumental, right? Instrumental, feminine. So mean with surrounding halos, with surrounding halos. Yeah, so all this supreme sage, shining with surrounding halo. So these are all very grammar. It's, you can see, you know, all these translations are based closely to the grammar. So this is instrument. So some people said, yeah, Pali is very difficult because our grammar is not that strong enough. So I think our training need to, you know, focus more on the grammar. So you look at these grammars, you know, you can translate easily. So with is a grammar, it's an instrument with surrounding halos. Yeah, Bhyamappa Bhaya. And Buddha Sabanungyo ete sabbe kina savajiva. You see all this ending? Buddha, nominative plural. Right? Ete is also. Ete. Also this. What else? Yeah, Savanuno also, now nominative plural. Conquerors. Also describing the Buddhists. Okay, so Savanungyo is like omniscient, omniscient. So ete means this, all this, understood? All these Buddhists are omniscient. Okay, so you see, they are all the nominative plural, all nominative plural. So like the translation, like this kind of finite verb to be, are understood. But usually in the Sanskrit, they were in Pali, they were, you know, skip, not showing. But when you translate, you have to put them in. So all the Buddhists are omniscient. And sabbe kinas asava jina. Right? Jina is also nominative plural. Jina means conquerors. Conquerors. And kina asava, right? Kina is destroy. One who has destroyed the defilements, asava. Okay, defilements. Or you can say that whose defilements have been destroyed. So, okay, so also adjective. So it means that the conquerors who have destroyed defilement, or conqueror whose defilement have been destroyed. Okay, so this is a translation. Yeah, the kina. Kina is being destroyed. Right? Asava means the defilements. And sabbe is also nominative plural, also describing the jina. it means that all are conquerors, or all these Buddhists are conquerors, right? Who have destroyed defilements. Okay, or whose defilement have been destroyed. Is it difficult? Yeah, of course it's not easy anyway. Yeah, but I have already tried my best. Try my best. Yeah, and of course it's not easy. Yeah, we are translating from the very ancient text, and more difficult when we translate the verses. Verses are the most difficult part. Yeah. Okay. What else? It's a very long. So I think we can look at one more. Mahapabha, Mahateja, Mahapanya, Mahabala, Mahakarnika Dhira, Sabbe Sanang Sukavaha. Okay, so I assume you know the rest. Sabbe Sanang, okay, is a genitive plural of all. Sukha Avaha is bringing happiness. Okay, it's a compound of Sukha Avaha, or conducive to ease. So we look at the translation. Mahapabha Mahateja. You see all this. You can see that it's very clearly they're adjective, Aranika, all adjective, all adjective. So there's no verb here. No verb, but verb understood. There's no verb. Okay, no verb. So what is Mahapabha? Maha means great. Okay, great. Pabha means the like. Okay, the radiant like, great like. It means that these Buddhists possess great like. Okay, Mahateja. Teja, Mahateja means great strength or great power. Okay, it's also nominative plural. You see, all these Buddhists possess a mighty power. Okay. And Mahapanya is a great wisdom, right? Panya, Mahapanya, okay? Mahabala is also great strength, okay? Bala means the strength, right? Great strength. You see, so all these adjectives, so we understand these are adjectives to the all Buddhists. We have been talking about 7 past Buddhists and many Buddhists or other Buddhists and many hundred of 10 million Buddhists. All these Buddhists, okay, they have they possess a radiant light, possess a mighty power, possess a great vision and great strength. Okay, so again, Mahakarnika Dhira. Mahakarnika means the great compassion. Oh, okay, great compassion. Dhira means the concentration. Okay, great compassion and concentration, right? Sabbe sana sukha avaha. Okay, this is genitive. Sukha avaha mean, okay, they bring happiness, okay, or conduce to happiness of all beings, or bring happiness of all beings, genitive, okay, of all. Or here the translation. These Buddhas possess a radiant light, mighty power, great wisdom, and great strength, having a great compassion and steadfast concentration. Okay, so up to here. Sabbe sana sukha avaha. Okay, nominative plural, also same thing, describing all Buddhists, adjective. And here's the genitive. So they bring happiness of all beings. Okay, of all beings. Okay, they'll lead happiness to all beings also okay. The genitive used in the dative sense. Oh, okay. So yeah, so these are our chanting. So usually when monk chant, all this, so you can see that all this chanting require a lot of what I call it, imagination, right? So you are not just only chanting the word, that you also have to understand and realize the meaning, you see? So when you do like that, imagine if you don't know any of these meanings, your chanting is like what do you call, it's just a word, it's just a sound only. It's just a sound only. So chanting together with the meaning, you see, you can bring a good result. Okay, especially when someone who chant, that bring them faith. Bring them faith. And of course, we can think of the virtues of the Buddha. He has such wonderful qualities in him. You see. Okay, that's why I said, some commentaries said that, oh, this Atanatiya Suttas, you have to follow certain rules and regulations. You cannot chant this and that. But I think after reading all these texts, you can chant at any time. Okay, you can chant at any time, just for your own self-protection, for your own self well-being, is free from harm and dangers. Okay, and of course, you'll be protected by the non-humans. Okay, especially when we continue. I hope next week we can finish all these things. Yeah, we still have a few more, quite a number of verses to go. Yeah, but this sutta is very important for Theravada. Yeah, they consider that this sutta as one of the very important suttas and one of the most powerful. Yeah, because you are talking about invocation. You say, you're talking about 7 Buddhas. You're talking about many Buddhas. You're talking about 10 million Buddhas. And many of 10 million Buddhas, you see, they all have all this virtue, all this quality. You see, this sutta, these are very powerful.